sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I just choked down chocolate chip cookies and Grandpa's femur. Femur.
We make money now?
No, we had to pay
So
them.
this episode, it's just too slippery. I'm slicing everything.
Every time I swing my 5-iron, it goes up that guy's ass.
Welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's your host, Jim and Foo.
Shout out to India.
Shout out to
on
India.
the Ghana Network.
Hey, welcome to the show. This is Sad Dads Club podcast.
We're episode 97.
We're close to the century mark.
We're With
Wow.
that said, it's like full circle.
Full fucking circle.
Yeah, we're getting up there in the numbers.
Hey.
Sometimes I
Sometimes
use
the numbers
numbers.
are so high we don't even fucking count them anymore.
I know. You know what's funny is I remember we got an email from iTunes about their show cataloging changes because they do that from time to time.
It wasn't our cursing.
No. It's not like they're complaining at us, but this is like a policy change that they did.
Right.
Where they were like, you don't have to put your name, the episode number in your name, or please don't, or whatever. And I was like, fuck you, man. We want that in our...
Wait, what? What?
Yeah, don't put the episode number in the name of the show.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was strange. And I'm like...
Why?
Because...
They didn't have a suggestion as to why, just don't do it.
I think because they take the number from somewhere else and that's how they use it for their ordering, but they're basically saying it's not necessary for you to do that, or you don't need to do it, or don't do that. But I'm like,
it's funny that we get, closer to 100.
Mm-hmm.
I had just seen someone repost, another content creator, like post something from Casey Neistat, who's you and I think both follow him on YouTube, but well-known YouTuber, like a pinnacle content creator. Yeah,
someone that I had like for a long time really kind of looked up to as like a
right.
content
He
creator
had a
guy.
good message,
Mm-hmm.
an interesting life story.
Yeah,
but he created good content from a video production
Visual.
and audio production quality standard that I envied.
Mm-hmm.
It was a clip of him, I think, towards the tail end of his vlogs, and it was like I don't know if it was like an Ask Me Anything, but it was. If you're going to create content, do it do it in a genre that's something that's entertaining to you
Mm-hmm.
and that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Don't do it with the intention of this will make me money.
Right.
He said, because it'll come across fake.
Yeah.
And you'll loathe it. And it won't feel genuine to your audience, whoever that may be, whatever medium that may be.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, if you're going to make something for someone else to ingest, do it from the heart, do it in something that you enjoy doing, and over time, whether or not you make money, it happens passively, and congratulations. And if it doesn't hurt you because you're doing something you enjoy regardless.
Right. And
I'm like, fuck, I remember watching that episode particularly year plus back.
Yeah.
But it's a good refresher for something I think we've kind of like held as like a mantra or a touchstone for what we do here. I would be doing this 100 episodes deep, 200 episodes deep, just because now it's habit. It's like playing. It's like playing Ingress. It's a passion.
Yeah.
And it's something that we do Wednesdays.
Yeah.
It's fucking catch up, and it's homie time.
Well, I mean, it's not like we're making money.
Right.
We do this because we enjoy it.
Right.
We were fortunate enough to get some video equipment donated to us, so that makes our life a little easier and allows us to do some other stuff a little bit better. But we don't have like a Patreon or...
Right.
It's like, I feel like we sort of have kind of chosen that path regardless of what it costs us to do the show.
Yeah, I would be doing this either way. And that, I guess that kind of leads in another thing that I saw from, do you follow any of Adam Savage's stuff?
No.
So he was, God, I really like his stuff I was always a fan of Mythbusters. But his stuff, then he kind of went his own way with his tested stuff. He released something just recently where it was like a skill set, especially now that we're in a quarantine, lockdown, pandemic. Choose your handcuff method of how you want to interpret where we're at right now. But it was he's taken an opportunity to increase your skill set. Now I don't know about you, but being locked down, it's taken there are a number of opportunities where it's like, well, if I can't go out and kill time, I've almost found myself trying to learn something new relative to the situation that I'm in. And in his example, he was trying to make something and using a couple of machines that he was not necessarily familiar with, and he failed.
Yeah.
And made mistakes a number of times. And he's like, it's going to happen. It's okay. We're in a unique situation, and everyone is in these like new places where it's like, well, how do I occupy my time? And how do I make myself not necessarily specifically a better person, but how do I broaden my horizons and my talents? And you can't expect to get from A to C without the understanding that B may include mistakes.
Yeah.
Or certainly errors, or learning curve adaptations. Painting, chores around the house, or like landscaping ideas, or things where you're necessarily on your own, where you can't leverage a small business because they went out of business, or you can't afford it because you're worried about economic and job security things. It's like, you pick up a shovel.
Right.
What is it? Case in point. So Zander needed a haircut.
Okay.
And we've been joking for like a couple weeks now. Like, dude, you need a haircut. And the last time, I think, when we came somewhere around Memorial, Venus got him into wherever he normally gets his haircut. Got him in to get his haircut.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't feel to me, I'll be honest, like they did. Like, I'm going to be here in a week, and we're going to be wondering why he looks like fucking Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Like, he had a monster set of hair, and it didn't look like they put $20 or whatever it is to cost to get him his haircut. I'm like, we're going to have to be cutting his hair again. And the whole family joke is that we're all, Daddy's going to cut your hair. Mommy doesn't want any part of it because she just doesn't want that trauma, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you reckon someone's...
Right.
Yeah,
so it was,
possibly.
I'm going to cut your hair.
Yeah.
Daddy's going to cut your hair. Well, Daddy shaves his head. So the joke is that fucking if everything goes south, I'm just going to shave your head. And
everyone's going to be bald.
Everyone's going to be bald.
Uh-huh.
You can't go anywhere anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to shave your head.
It'll grow back.
It'll grow back. You're young. You got plenty of time left.
And hair.
Whatever. And you're home anyway, so what do you have to worry about being attractive because I'm going to butcher your head. Anyway, but it was, I think, weeks and weeks back, it was because I bick my head. Mm-hmm. I don't have clippers anymore. I used to like no guard clippers it, but I don't. I think they stopped working or something. Anyway, I don't have clippers.
Okay.
So a couple weeks back, I went to
dog shears.
This is where we're at.
Sorry,
I was probably the same shit.
Probably.
Yeah. It's just wall or doggy fur written on it. Who the fuck knows? And it was like, well, I'll buy some clippers. Clippers were sold out. Mm-hmm. You could not buy a decently rated set of clippers.
Well, I kind of feel like
because they were all, I think the general populace was like, I'm cutting my own hair.
If you can't find them on Amazon,
you
can't find
them. They
were
anywhere. Back ordered on Amazon. And then it was like, I don't necessarily want like the 25cc powered 2-stroke motor gas clippers. That seems like
start using a weed whacker.
Yeah, that seems like a bad recipe for damage,
Yeah.
Anyway, so we kind of just out of sight, out of mind. Well, school's starting. I think today.
Is it though?
Yes. Oddly enough, we can get there too. There's funny stories.
Is there?
Yeah. There's always funny stories about school. It was like he's going to be going on to campus to get his schedule, whatnot, this, that, and there. We got to cut his hair.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd pull him into the office a couple times, and I'm like, here's the deal. We're making funny ha-has, but your hair needs to get cut.
Yeah.
I'm not sending you to school looking like you're a homeless person, because you're not. And so we're gonna cut your hair. What kind of hairstyle are you looking at? I watched a number of YouTube episodes. He kind of picked out a hairstyle thing, and then last night I said, we're cutting your... I ended up finding clippers, obviously, in the weeks past.
Uh-huh.
And I said, we're cutting your hair. And he's like, okay, all right. And
so
I said,
he was willing?
He was willing, because,
was he nervous?
we've been jawing and making, funny ha-ha family jokes about how Daddy was going to cut your hair the entire time. But last night, I sat him down and I said, here's the deal. We have to cut your hair. The jokes aside, I said, I want you to be comfortable that I'm going to cut your hair.
Mm-hmm.
If you're actually concerned. It was a lot like the drive thing with you and to Georgetown. It was like, listen.
I'm going to cut it.
I'm going to cut your hair, or your mom's going to cut your hair. She doesn't really want to, but I do, and I will. But I'm actually not going to, turn the clippers on and strap you down and tell you to try and run away while I buzz cut your fucking head.
Right.
And he's like, I know. And I went, okay, so which one of these looks okay to you? He's like, oh, kind of looking like that. Sat him down.
Do you have also good scissors?
Yes,
okay.
I have. Yeah,
Okay.
I bought the whole fucking thing.
All
I
right.
bought a tapering and thinning scissors.
Okay.
Normal scissors. I had this whole set of guards all laid out, and Piper had come in after some little live chat with one of her friends.
Do you also have your scissors in the jar of liquid?
No,
You
but
need
I think
that.
only we remember that, right? The sterilization.
No, I swear
Like the alcohol
have it at the
shit?
Great Clip.
Really?
Yeah.
They still do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been in a barbershop in fucking 15-something years.
I've seen it there.
Like
Anyway.
the lice
Sorry,
killing
I'm trying
alcohol.
to set my...
Yes. I had all my guards laid out. So Piper went into the bathroom at some point, my bathroom where we were going to do it, and I had all the guards and all the scissors and
And
the
your
combs.
Edward Scissorhands gloves.
Oh, fuck yeah. And she came to the office. She's like, it looks like you're about to murder someone in the bathroom. And I went, I am. Your brother's hair. Anyway, you want me to cut your hair? She's like, no. Anyway, she
of
beat
course
feet
not.
fucking real fast.
Not a chick. Not a dad who doesn't know what he's doing.
Sat him down on the bar stool, pulled it, and started the thing. And I said, are you ready? And he's like, do you have the YouTube episode handy? And I went, no, I watched it. I'm good. I'm fucking good. And he went,
are you sure?
and I saw a little bit of the whites in his eyes, and his eyes dilate. And I went, I'm just kidding. Here it is right here. Do you need to have me rewatch it or something? And he's like, no, I'm good. I was just a little concerned there for a second. Gave him the greatest of fucking fade, left him a lot on top because he said he wanted to dye it at some point.
Good for
it
him.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a fucking great haircut.
Does it look good?
It does. I think I'll send him out.
Now, are you doing the thing where you pull your hair, the hair up, and then do that? Get it all
fucking
even.
Came up. I gave him
you're
the
the bomb.
sickest fade. And it was funny because I had the so the ASMR stuff, like the barber whatnots. So as I'm cutting his hair, I've got my oddly weird barber conversationalist hat on. I'm like, so when I used
a rite of passage.
Yeah, I'm like, so when I used to get my hair cut, when I would get the small hairs down at the bottom and the butt, do you like it when the clippers go right around your ears and it gives you that? He's like, yeah.
Oh my God, that's.
And
hilarious.
I went, oh, that's crazy because it's you. And I said, and then right after your haircut, after you take your first shower, you have that real short, bristly like feeling, Velcro feeling on the back, like at the lower part of where they did the trim, right at the edge.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah." And I went, "Right? Isn't that awesome?" And he's like, "I love that part." And I went, "I know. I'll give that to you, son. I'll give that to you."
Now, did you round it or square it?
I squared it.
Oh, okay.
I squared it.
Did you ask him?
No.
You always got to ask the client what they want.
But I kind of read the line, and I did it. Now
I'm kidding.
And then this morning, after he was eating his breakfast, and I touched the back of his neck, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's the good stuff." And he's like, "I know." And I was like, "Fucking, I'm cutting my son's hair from now on."
That's brilliant.
It was, these little skill sets that we're in, and like new things,
like forced to learn the stuff.
Forced to learn.
Yeah.
Haircuts.
Putting people out of business in more ways than one.
Right. I was gonna say. So my question is: have you had to learn something or brush up on a skill, given the quarantine, that's directly related to something that you thought you had kind of lost an edge of, since
I'm gonna say
in daily dad life?
I'm gonna say yes, but I can't think of an example off the top of my head.
So if I were to tell you that I have noticed from your social media and conversation stuff that your yard work is a net new, as opposed to when I started, because I felt like our external time was all spent in ingress. Obviously, most of that was evening, but if we stayed up late, I'd have to feel that certainly my yard work was impacted by late nights or field operations or ingress play. Like midday, someone's attacking Mahaney, get in the car and let's go.
Well, when we first moved to our house, big time into doing my yard and keeping up things. And then there got to be a point, especially in the backyard, where it was impossible for me to keep the yard clean.
Yes, I ran into that too.
Because of factors outside my control, trees dropping things and animals doing some stuff.
Right.
So the backyard kind of went by the wayside partly because of that. But the front yard I'm pretty particular about, and I don't do as much like trimming of bushes and shit, but the yard's mowed, and I try and keep my grass as green as possible.
Right.
There was also a time where I literally just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably the ingress time where I was just like, I don't fucking care.
Right.
That was also something that was happening with me.
Yeah.
So part of getting back to doing yard work and stuff is because I have made some changes in myself to get where I'm at, where it's like, this is stuff I need to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the, I mean, it's not like I didn't know how to do any of it. I have all the yard tools and everything.
Right.
It's just, it became it was a situation where I didn't have the care or the energy to do.
Yeah. So there were just recently, probably in the last 2 weeks, where I ran into two of those types of projects. One is like the guest bathroom, like always had like the floater, the toilet bowl floater, like just never quite sat right.
Yeah.
And it was always like running a constant like thing of water.
Yeah.
I'm an adamant advocate that fucking replacement parts for toilet bowl handle flushers are always pieces of shit outside the OEMs. And it had one of those. I think in the last, like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, somewhere after the drive, I think the kids had come home and someone went to flush the toilet, and it was the plunger itself never closed all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And the O-ring on whatever the little dropper is to seal it to then start the flow of the tank had come off its seat or had just aged out.
Yep.
And so it was, well, now I'm in a place where I have to fix this. And my instinct was, this thing is probably 20, 25 years old. It's original equipment from the house, which we weren't here for.
They require replacement every so often. Anyway.
Right. And I had replaced it once, but this one is going on its second one, and it's under this pain in the ass counter ledge.
Yes, we have the same thing. I was going to talk about that.
I cannot fucking stand it.
You can't get your arm in there to do anything.
You can't get your arm in there. And however I did it, the one time I've already replaced it, I have admiration for that self, because I spent probably 30 seconds trying to reseat the O-ring blind with like this very cerebral palsy.
Does that mean
armature thing
that you just have to rip the countertop out?
It does, and I think that's end result, and I think Venus knows that, and I think I know that. But my instinct was, after trying to get my arm in here with this fucking like Quato Total Recall mutant,
there's like this much space between the counter and the top of the
could not
bowl.
stand it. My thought was, I'm gonna have to go buy another toilet. And it was, I'm set. You don't
have to get a new. Here's what you can do: make it a lot cheaper. You pull the toilet and you work on the shit and then just put the toilet back.
Right. I don't want to fucking smell that. I don't want to get you need a new wax ring if you pull the whole I didn't want to do that.
But you're going to have to do that anyway.
Right. But if there was an opportunity, if I'm going to have to put that much effort in, I might as well get a toilet with a new flushing mechanism that's not going to give me shit in another 2 years.
Oh, this is killing me.
And it will do like the dual flush, the light flush and the heavy flush. Yeah. For water conservation. I'll be doing my part for the environment and all that. I'm like,
wait a second. Are you doing your part for the environment if you're replacing a toilet?
Probably. Well, it's porcelain.
Where does it? I mean, really?
Yeah. So it's like I could crush it up if I wanted to.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'll give you that.
I'm looking at that, and I'm like, all right. So Sunday, I'm gonna go fucking to Lowe's, and I'm gonna go buy a toilet.
You were.
I was set. Of course, then Armageddon went into his problem and his old man disease. So then it was like, after the bill for $1,700,
right?
It was like, well, now I'm fixing the toilet.
Yes.
So
what's a toilet costs $400?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're expensive.
$250 to $400 depending, and certainly the one that I was looking at that was like the dual economy water conservation shit.
They're gonna rake you.
Yeah, those are expensive.
They are.
And which was like not what I was looking for anyway, but I was thinking, well, I'm doing my part for the conservation. Anyway, but after Armageddon's bill, that was a no-go.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, now I'm fixing it. So I ended up I just retrofit a whole new like plunger flushing system inside the tank.
How did you do that?
It was roughly, there was a universal kit, so I went to Lowe's and I essentially got a universal kit. It was probably $60 in total parts, but it fixed the slow running toilet garbage, plus it fixed the O-ring.
Okay.
And at least I know the internals to the tank are much more current outside just trying to replace the O-ring on a 20-year-old flushing mechanism.
Right.
So there was a cost savings there. And it was like one of those nagging things that I didn't want to, I'm not really paying attention to the slow water thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of out of sight, out of mind, and it had been going on for years.
You're paying for that ultimately.
Ultimately, I was, but it was like, how much is it, and is it really worth my time? Up until that point, it wasn't. And the other one was the garage door. Mm-hmm. So when I first move in, young new homeowner, and they had to drywall the ceiling in here, they had to detach the garage door motor in order to ceiling and firewall proof the garage.
Right.
So when I put everything back up, I didn't really know how it was just supposed to be fastened. So I didn't really give it. I took a bunch of metal like strapping and just kind of crisscrossed, and it was janky. It was terrible. But I had since realized, the proper way to do it. And so I had purchased, you can't really see it now because I'm covered by foam tiles. But I had purchased some of the angle iron, the 90-degree stuff, the heavy steel
Yeah, with the holes in it.
bracing. And it was, if I get an opportunity, I need to do that right. And it reminded me a lot of doing the RS's stereo stuff. It was like, when I looked up there at the garage door and how much I listened to Venus complain about how the garage door shook when it opened because it wasn't stable.
Right.
And so the rollers, everything, it just makes so much noise coming up because it's like fighting itself. It's off center. It's off level.
So you also hung the door itself.
The whole
Jankily.
alignment of the pull mechanism of pulling the door up.
So the garage door opener or the door itself?
The door was fine.
The door, okay.
The opener
Just
is
the
what
opener.
was
the janky part.
Off center. And and that was all me.
Yeah.
It was, every time I looked up at it, it was like, it reminded me of the younger me doing car audio. It was like, you did what you did and based off what you thought you knew was right, but really it was the shortest in to get to
the quickest route to get to the end.
Not the best, but it was the quickest.
It's good enough.
And it was good enough.
Yeah.
So I had these parts, and it was like, I have 2 hours of time. I know what it should look like. I know what I have to do. And I had the parts. And I put it in, and it was like, I felt better. But it was like, if we weren't in this situation with the quarantine and all this stuff, I think I would have kept putting it off. And it's, like I said, 2 hours. And I felt like I learned something more, certainly, than when I had done it the first time.
We have done so many projects since everything went down. I mean, honestly, we've painted several rooms in the house. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, I've done repairs, 2 different repairs on the oven.
Right.
I just, like, last weekend, thanks to Armodo, Rick up in Penn Valley.
Oh.
He helped me with a problem with our dishwasher where it was having a power failure, but it would, like, go into the dry cycle and start drying and then go have a power failure. And it would just say PF on the little display on the front. And so I started digging around on the internet and found all these people talking about all these different things to replace, and like a lot of people were saying, I replaced this thing but it didn't help. Right. So I pinged Rick, knowing that that's what he does for a living.
That's his bag.
And he was like, well, take the kick panel off. There's a junction. First of all, unplug or turn off the breaker. Take the kick panel off. There's a junction box on the right side. Open the junction box. That's where the power comes into the unit. Tighten down the wire nuts on the supply power, and then button it all back up and test it. Hasn't had a problem since.
No shit.
I'm like, that fixed my fucking,
Wow.
So there's that. Put in a attic fan. Or replaced an attic fan.
Oh yeah.
We just laid sod over the weekend. Prepared the backyard. We did a patio. I put in the LP line for the gas fire pit we put in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, just painted a bunch of the outside of the house.
Yeah.
Painted a bunch of the inside of the house. So the number of projects, a lot of it stuff's just like, I don't know how this works, but I'm just going to figure it out.
Right.
Like, it may not be the best way to do it, but at least I'm doing it.
Yeah. And it's weird. It's not necessarily weird. I think it's awkward for me to see, I guess, in looking at it in hindsight, the situation that we're all in is very uncomfortable. It's disconcerting. There's a lot of questions and not answers. I think it gets easy to dwell on the detriments, but when I look in hindsight, it's like there are plenty of opportunities here to grow and learn new things, especially in the digital medium opportunities that we have. It's like, well, I would like to, go to a gym. I would like to do more races. I would like to do more things, but that's not an option.
Mm-hmm.
So I could either be pissed off and sad and complain about those things, or I can see that as an opportunity that it looks like it has started to evolve into is, well, this is where your fortitude is, and like your character.
Mhm.
Like, can you put yourself on an exercise plan or a diet plan or a way to increase your mental sharpness, doing something where you are in charge of that lesson plan.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look back at the last couple months, and like as we've just talked about in the last probably 20 minutes, it's like I'm doing okay. It's not as necessarily as dire and as a shitty situation
Mm-hmm.
as it seems to be on its face. It's
Yeah.
real easy to say, I can't go anywhere. I can't go to that place and eat that thing. But maybe this is an opportunity to learn to cook that
Yeah.
thing.
Well, don't you think, like, if you didn't watch the news and you just kind of knew, like, if you were just knowing, okay, the governor has ordered these counties to stay at home, blah, blah, blah. If you knew that and didn't follow any other news or social media, and actually what I found is a lot of local news is very informative without having any bias whatsoever, which is actually pretty nice.
Mhm.
You just kind of get it straight up rather than having all the
Right,
weird
yeah.
slant and spin. So if you just had maybe some local news and stayed off social media and just kind of knew what was going around for your locale, then it wouldn't be as bad as the anxiety level would be so much lower.
Probably. And I certainly give a lot of that like weight. But I think we're in a place also, as far as how information is transferred, that to know it, I think we're both. I think we're both goddamn, what's the word? Well-rounded enough, and knowing that there's certainly such an expanse of information that to knowingly distance yourself from that, like, puts you at a disadvantage to what's coming.
I mean, maybe there's certain times where you don't. I mean, what do they call that with this Twitter scroll or the death scroll?
Oh yes, death scroll.
Is that what they call it? The death scroll?
Death scroll.
I mean, there's something to be said about that term in general, that even that term even exists.
Right.
Because there is definitely validity to the term itself.
Right.
Because that's what happens to me. I start feeling, I start reading a lot of that stuff, and I don't spend a lot of time. Let me preface that by saying I don't spend a lot of time death scrolling or scrolling to look for the negative stuff. In fact, what I'm looking for is to get away from that by looking for other funny stuff or positive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The death scrolling is when I start to see that in my feed that where it's just a lot of negativity, then I back away from it. For me personally, it's just not a good idea.
I think that's the balance.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is. I think there's somewhere in between making sure that you're informed, but yet to the capacity where you're not dragged down.
Yeah.
And that is I think that evolves and is relative to each person. Not necessarily like
finding their limits.
Right.
Yeah.
And being also having the control to say, this is too much for me.
Yeah.
I've started the death scroll.
Right.
Fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go read a book or
Mhm.
something like that.
Well, I find like I don't spend. I don't want to bag on people in my house, but what I find is we can be having a meal and sort of finish the meal, and it's like the phones immediately come out and everybody's on their phone, and I'm like the only one looking around like, the fuck, I thought we were
right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything.
Right.
But it's sort of off-putting a little bit to have that happen.
Right.
But for me personally, like, I don't want to be on my phone all the time. There's so many other things I'd rather be doing than scrolling through social media and worrying about whatever whatever it is everybody
Right.
else is doing or talking about at that moment. I got other shit that I want to accomplish.
Right.
And that's the least important part of life,
Yeah.
the way I kind of look at it.
Yeah. We had just so part of the school thing. We were talking about schools earlier. Piper just got the high school. They're like structuring. So she doesn't have her classes, her subjects per se, but she has her schedule. Since the county that we're in is still not safe, they're starting digitally and online distance learning until such time as the county gets clear, and then they have provisions for them to show up in person on campus. So because they're starting online, the schedule is the same. Whereas when we went into the shit at the tail end of the school year, it was very ad hoc. She could have stuff going into 4 or 5 p.m. relative to the teacher making a schedule.
Oh, interesting.
Her online course curriculum is the same hours as if she was going to be on site,
schedule.
which is, as a parent, is a godsend for me.
Right.
Because some of the awkwardness and difficulty as a parent that it was for me to work and try and navigate the waters of keeping my kids on a schedule goes by the wayside because the school is no longer in that emergency schedule situation where things are ad hoc. They are saying here to here.
Yeah.
So
and that's how it should be. But
right, and
they were in like,
but it was the shit.
Oh shit mode.
Right.
Yeah.
So now it will, at least for Piper, we're still waiting on Zander. It will be the expectations of, I know where my child's breaks are, my young adult. Piper is a young adult. I know where my young adult's breaks are. So I have an expectancy if I come up or down the hallway. There's no real free time. I know where she's expected to be doing these topics. The phone can be put aside. There's no shenanigans, like there was because she had gaps.
So wait, is this where you can see her in the hallway and you can yell, "Go to class"?
Yeah, go to class.
Right.
I turned your Wi-Fi
You
off.
walk around and go,
Do you have a hall pass?
Yeah.
I'm a hall monitor.
Shouldn't you be in class right now, young lady?
Excuse me.
Are you late?
Do you have a hall pass?
Yeah.
I'm a hall pass guy. Anyway, so we're waiting for that for Zander, but it was good to see that this next step for the kids and the schools, at least our district, has that under wraps. I look forward to hoping that that's the same way for Zander.
Yeah.
But I think I've already conveyed that in this house, we're just grasping, just like everyone else in that March, April, May period, where I can't keep tabs on you, and I know that you don't have anything for this 2-hour block. You can fill your time.
Yeah.
That's going to go away. We're 3-4 months into this now. I'm going to hold you to a schedule, just like your sister, because your sister's on it, and it's going to be, you're in the zone right here. And if you want you've got time to kill, you're going to read a book.
I mean, aside from that, if nothing else, you've got a new resume byline, like FOO, hall monitor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did I tell you, man, her physics grade? She got an A.
Oh, nice.
I'm like tapping out. It's like one course, 1 A grade student. I'm done. I can.
Nice.
I'm done until Zander needs help with.
You're like this.
Calculus. I'm like, fucking, I'm done. That's it.
Yeah.
You're
like the poker dealer who.
I went all in. I won the World Series of Poker. Fuck it, I'm out.
No, you're like the dealer when they switch out and they have to put their hands up.
Tap.
Yeah.
So I have nothing under my hands.
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
Here's my.
I gave
I do that.
No cards to the players.
Yeah.
I'm fucking good.
No.
So,
Yeah. Well,
so
those are all tough. I mean, everyone's grappling with the tough school stuff. I mean, even at the college level, it's a fucking nightmare. Melanie is kind of torn between the fact that she has an apartment that she's paying rent on every month, and she hasn't lived there now.
That has
since,
to end soon, doesn't it? Does it start at
I think they re-upped their lease. Not.
Oh, good God.
No, it was before the shit hit the fan. They had re-upped their lease.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the shit?
It was before the shit started.
Oh.
So they had already re-upped. Yeah, so I mean, it's like they have this lease, and so she's talking about at some point, even though classes may be online, like going back down there and living there some of the time just because it's her apartment. So it's all very curious. Chandler's on a whole nother, I mean, we're not worried about him because he's living at home, but for her, it's quite a bit different. Is
that Los Angeles County where she would be going, or Orange?
It's Orange County.
That's depressing.
Yeah. It's Fullerton, so it's like...
I just saw a thing saying that
10 minutes away from
board
Disneyland
was going to sue Newsom for closing schools or setting his guidelines for schools. And I went, why are you fighting this? Like, I don't understand.
Because I don't tread on me, dude.
The mind plays.
Well, we talked a little bit about those two guys, Chad and...
Oh, yeah, the masks.
The mask guys. They apparently, from what I hear, have a TV show coming on some network, and they have a podcast, which is really funny. They're funny dudes. They're little surfer guys that live in Orange County, and they do YouTube videos where they go and like try and give masks out to people in the beach communities.
At Huntington, wasn't it?
They've done several different places. And it's always the same stuff. Those masks are killing you. We just have free masks. Hey, sir, do you need a mask? And they just catch so much shit, and they just take it. They take it like champs, and they're just kind of goofy back. And it's like people can't be pissed at them because they're just goofy, although some people go way over the top.
Right.
But it's just funny because how many people in that area that won't wear masks, that are totally against wearing masks, it's mind-boggling.
Did you see the Louis Gohmert, a congressional Republican representative out of Texas, Louis Gohmert? He came down with it. I think we mentioned some of it.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
He gave some soundbite to some local news channel in Texas where he pretty much said, maybe the reason he got COVID was because it was on his mask, and because he was wearing the mask, that's how he got it.
Right.
And there's just a collective eye rolling of what?
Yeah.
You were a judge in a room of court, and you're fucking trying to convince people that you got the virus because you wore the mask.
Yeah. Well, there's so much misinformation out there that people glom onto as reasons for not wanting to wear a mask, and it's just nuts. I mean, the way that the stuff transmits is on like droplets.
Mostly.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah. And in fact, they're not even convinced that it's completely airborne to the point to where it's on its own floating in the air. And if that's the case, you're going to have transmission through a mask because the thing's so tiny it would just get into you.
Right. And most of the masks, right. Most of the masks are not medical grade, and they're,
Yeah.
But they're doing something better than not having a mask.
Yeah. Well, the bigger part of wearing the mask is if you get it because you don't know that you have it. And if you get it, the mask will protect other people because it's coming out of your face from the water droplets coming out of your face.
Right.
So the mask is going to trap those because the water droplets are going to get trapped by the mask, and thus also the virus. So it's not necessarily that the masks that people are wearing around town are all medical grade and that they're going to protect themselves. I mean, there is some protection.
Right.
But it's not that even that's the case. It's the case that if you have it, you're not going to make somebody else get it by wearing a mask.
Right.
And it's crazy. And there's so much the funny one I saw was, if you fart and you're wearing a mask, you can smell it through the mask. It's like, well, a particle of a fart is very, very tiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's just that kind of stuff that like...
We had
please educate yourself.
One of the new move-ins, I don't know, probably a year and a half, 2 years, new-ins at the end of the cul-de-sac here. I'd put a note on the door saying over the weekend that they were doing like a court yard sale thing. And, we've been dealing with Armageddon, and we're trading off sleeping on the couch with him and whatnot. So Venus and I are both overtired. And it kind of came with like a couple days notice, and it was supposed to happen in the morning. But it was like, we don't really have anything to put out anyway. But I was encouraged by the thought that one of the neighbors that wasn't the cunt that hates all our dogs.
She's a super nice lady.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, whatever.
I mean, before I came into the show, I went over there to talk to her just because she's that nice.
Gave her some of Natalie's bread that you didn't save. Anyway.
Well, it was, yeah.
Yeah. So she, this new neighbor person had come and dropped a flyer saying yard sale for the court. I was encouraged, but it's like, hey, is someone reaching out to do something? Most of us here in the court are all just kind of on our own, single moms, a couple single parents. But by and large, everyone keeps to themselves.
I feel like when someone reaches out with a community kind of a thing like that, it's kind of cool.
It is. And I was encouraged. Like I said, we didn't have anything to do, but at the same time, in the space and conditions that we're in, I can't say that I'm exactly hot on random strangers driving up. Wherever
scoping your garage
right
out.
Wherever they had posted this thing, there was a caravan of cars for the window of time in which it was posted. And I fucking seeing like the camera footage of like the cars just going in and out of the cul-de-sac the whole time, and I'm like, hell to the fucking no. I would not want. I don't know where these people are coming from. Some were wearing masks, some were not.
Yeah.
And it was just like, well, no, I could not even consider doing this in this situation.
I had a situation. We had ordered some food from Chipotle for pickup.
Did they get your order right this time?
Yes.
Who fucks it? Who have we made?
Chipotle's
is the one that
they've
usually
fucked up
fucks
multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you ordered.
So we ordered some Chipotle. We go to pick it up. This is over the weekend, and they are doing a thing. So it's the one by the Nugget.
Okay.
So they're doing this thing where you don't go into the rack and just get your order.
Okay.
Everyone hangs out outside, and there's a dude on the side door, not the main front door, but the side door.
Okay.
And they have a dude manning the door, and he, as the orders come out, he calls your name, and then you just pick it up from him. Also, you can go in and order food, but they only have a certain number of places for people to stand on a red dot.
Okay.
So I didn't really look in there.
Okay.
And he would only let certain number of people in at a time. So that was kind of cool. I forgot why I was telling you this. It just totally left me.
What were we talking about? It's a yard sale. Awkward people, tons of people.
So the line of people that were going in, this group of, I don't know, 5 people walked up, and like none of them were wearing masks. And I'm thinking, like, everyone here is fucking wearing a mask. I mean, granted, we're all outside, but they didn't even have any masks. And I'm thinking, come on, Chipotle. Like, don't let these fuckers in the restaurant.
Right.
Because what the fuck?
This is the system.
This is how it works right now.
The social contract with everyone here is the understanding that masks are
It's what we're
needed.
doing right now.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and I was so in the moment, pretty hot to myself.
Right.
Like at one point I said out loud, probably just loud enough for myself to hear, but where the fuck is your masks?
Right.
And I'm looking around like they're just hanging out where the guy's telling them to line up, waiting to go inside. And he's not saying shit about wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask. All of us are wearing fucking masks. Every other person that was in the restaurant was wearing a mask. But here's these jackholes,
right,
not wearing a mask at all.
Right.
And they let him in, I guess.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't get it, man. So anyway, that drove me crazy. That bugged me a lot.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when we were...
We're not going to ever fucking get anywhere with bringing numbers down if we can't get everybody to adhere to the same fucking standard.
Comment. Just fucking buckle your seatbelt and wear your mask.
It's
put it on the same
not
level.
going to hurt you.
Just do it
for a month or whatever it is. It's not going to hurt you. In fact, you might help somebody else. It's crazy.
I know. It's so bizarre.
You might save someone's life.
The like little things, I guess I'd forgotten. The yard sale thing. I ended up with some special set off time. We didn't have anything to do, and I was mowing the lawn. And when we had, it's probably 2 years back, 18, when we had the really bad drought where they cut the water off.
Yeah.
I had bought like the lawn dye because they essentially shut your sprinklers off.
Yeah.
But the length of time I had to put into anything, I never used it.
Yeah.
And plus there was the awkward like, that dude's painting his lawn. You feel like I fucked up. So there's like an admission of like, I can't even keep my lawn green kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I had gotten to, I think it was Sunday, I'd gotten to the point to where I'm like, I understand in digging holes in this fucking shithole hard pan decomposed granite garbage of a plains floodplain.
Yeah.
Here. The sod that's as old as the fucking toilet has become root bound, and it's not going anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
In the backyard, I have tried to rototill, resod, rototill seed, top seed, and top coat. It's done. I'm so fucking done with trying to grow grass in this place.
Yeah.
But I had this, but I keep continuing to mow it.
Yeah. Because it grows.
Because it grows to some capacity.
It's not healthy as shit, but it does grow.
It's terrible looking. It's really bad.
Yeah.
But I had the stuff, the dye, and I had been putting it off doing it because I think it was just one of those things. One, it was like an admission of, I can't keep this green, and I fucked up. And the two was, I didn't have the time, and I didn't necessarily know how to apply it.
Did it kind of feel like you were cheesing out,
Probably.
painting it green?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I had gotten to the point on Sunday where I was like, I have this stuff. I've been trying to clean up the garage. I bought it.
I never used it.
A pressure tank just to do that.
Yeah.
And I've been setting off this, the pressure sprayer off to the side, not putting any other chemicals or something in it because it was for this purpose. And if I did something with the tank,
you don't want to put Roundup in there and then spray the yard and have it completely.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm cleaning up the garage. I'm picking up these things. I've got this fucking dye. I've got this fucking tank. I need to do it. The lawn looks like garbage anyway.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So I fucking mixed up the tank and I fucking spray painted. And part of it too was like, well, I don't want to do it when people can see me painting. I'm literally Bob Rossing the fucking lawn. So part of that too was like the embarrassment. It was like, well, I don't want to do this. And I got to the point, I got this window. I'm like, I'm doing it. I don't care. If anyone wants to come up to me and give me shit as a homeowner about why I'm painting my lawn, I don't have to make excuses. This isn't a machismo thing. This isn't a non-green thumb thing. This sod is not here naturally anyway.
Yeah.
And it's gone past its life expectancy. It's dead. That tree's killing it.
Yeah.
I'm done. So I am out there with the most boundless enthusiasm painting my fucking lawn green, and I am happy as a clam doing
I'm going to
it.
have to check it because I don't think I noticed.
And so I did as much as I had dye for.
Oh, God. You didn't have enough to do the whole yard.
I got most, but I was running out of daylight. But I got most that was like within someone walking because it's on an incline. So anyway. And so Venus, I think, had come out to the garage as I was winding up, and I went, I painted the lawn. And she went, what? And
Yeah,
I went-
remember?
And I went, remember that green dye? She's like, what? You went and bought it? And I'm like, no, I fucking had this shit for years. She said, what'd you do? And I went, I painted the lawn.
Come check it out. Doesn't it look great?
It's so green. It looks so fucking healthy. It's amazing.
Oh my
And
God.
she's like, oh God, no.
Oh no.
And I think she was more embarrassed. I was fucking excited. I'm like, look at it. It's all green. It's fucking amazing. She's like, but you didn't get up here. And I went, you can't really see that anyway. And she's like, oh my God, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, don't worry about that part. We'll get it later. But there's no grass there. It would look terrible.
I think what they're going to need to do for yards is kind of like the same thing, like the spray to spray on someone's flat.
Oh, the balding spray?
Yeah, that. They just need that for the yard.
That's kind of how it works. It's
Oh,
just
is it?
it's just fucking green paint
Uh-huh.
in an aerosol sprayer.
Well, isn't that stuff like you spray like in the bald
I thought
spot?
it was like static magnet.
It like collects on the hair follicles to make it look full or whatever.
I don't know how it works.
Or I don't think it does. It actually paint the scalp?
I don't know.
I don't think you can use it in a place where there's actually no hair. I think it actually sort of fills in.
Yeah, I don't
or-
think it works for bald spots.
Yeah.
That right. I had a friend who just had a birthday, and Venus had sent him like a well wish, and he, still feel young, except for the, the thinning hair and the bald spots. And I'm like, you fucking tell that punk ass. Jay's bald scalp sends him hold my beer for his bald spot.
You want to see a bald spot?
Yeah, I'm like, fucking tell that dude to quit his bitching. Shave my head. Shave it.
They're running a solar thing off of your
So
dome.
it was, I, as a mature, older homeowner who
Yeah.
had struggled with the implications and the perception of, in drought situations, a dying lawn, certainly as a second homeowner of a place that the sod has gone its life expectancy, but not necessarily the money liquidity to re-sod
Mhm.
the lawn or have a landscape plan to pull the sod out and put something else in its place.
Yeah.
I am telling you, it's okay to paint it. Bob Ross that shit. It's good.
I'm like a proud yarder. I mean, I love keeping my yard clean. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not uncommon for me to be out there like pulling weeds
Are you
out of
throwing
it.
shade at me?
No.
I like you clean yard too.
No, it's something cathartic about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yard work in general.
Yeah.
And there's a struggle there, especially with that portion of the yard
Mm-hmm.
where it's like with the tree, the neighbor's tree that's coming up through it and
Yeah.
killing it. It'll take me some, the amount of time I YouTubed how to cut my son's hair. How to, landscaping ideas for an encroaching tree root system that's not your tree. Because
Yeah.
to me, the obvious thing here would be, if it was my
you get
tree,
the sawzall out.
right?
and you just start trimming
Right.
out the roots?
I lightly looked up how that would work. If you kill someone else's tree that
Uh-huh.
comes into your property, you are liable.
Really?
In Placer County,
Really?
because I have an uncle who had the same kind of problem, who neighbors' tree roots were coming up and sprouting. It was like one of those weed type of trees.
Uh-huh.
He had a neighbor's tree's root system that was coming up in his backyard
And sprouting other
and
trees.
sprouting other trees.
Yeah.
And had grown a significant root system. He had taken a hole saw to one of the biggest roots he could find and just dug a big old hole in it.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what poison he used, but he put a bunch of
Oh.
fucking poison and a coffee can over it and killed the tree
Yeah.
that was obviously apparent on the other property.
Uh-huh.
And there's a big joke in the family about it, like, hey, well, if you got a tree, you just fucking dig it and poison and kill it.
Yeah.
My gut reaction was to do the same. It's like, fucking, that's not my tree. Your tree is killing my shit.
Well, I think
And it
that's,
was like, I'll just dig a hole and I'll kill your tree, and then you'll pull the tree out, and I'll get
isn't that though
my
a
yard
little
back.
bit different, like cutting limbs that are growing into your, or not limbs, but roots that are growing into your yard and causing you issues, as opposed to drilling a hole into the root system and then pouring some chemical in there so that the tree eats it up and dies. I mean, that's a little bit different, I would say.
Well, limbing is one thing.
Yeah. I'm talking about root system.
I mean,
like
then what do? The end result is that you're supposed to contact the neighbor and work out some sort of agreement. Like your tree is, I mean, if it was coming up under the foundation of the house, I don't see that as all too much different. The object, organic object on your property is ruining my property and property value. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
I can't kill your tree without becoming liable.
Yeah.
With the organic parts that are on my side of the...
Well, I know, but I mean, you're not going to kill it by cutting roots out and removing the roots that are in your yard, right?
Well...
I mean, like I said...
If I was to go whole hog, I would cut it... I know where it's coming through under the fence line.
Yeah.
I would just start...
trimming those out.
Trimming that out.
Yeah.
It would leave a probably significant
scar
in my lawn, and it would be obvious as to what I was doing.
Yeah.
As opposed to some sort of passive-aggressive like poisoning and killing of the tree.
Yeah, no.
Where then the homeowner would go, that tree's dead. I'm going to have to call out an arborist.
And then the arborist goes, oh, well, here's your problem.
Yeah. Well, it turns out your neighbor's got a coffee can full of fucking arsenic on your root system. Oh.
Well, no, I mean, there's got to be some recourse for you to be able to remove a root system that's
I'm sure it
encroaching in your property.
It probably involves talking to a person, and I don't like that.
Which is the reason why you built the fence,
right?
For your neighbor.
You feel me? You know exactly what the fuck's going on.
No,
hi neighbor. I'd like to work out some sort of agreement where we hash out why your tree is killing my lawn.
Yeah.
Oh, well, perhaps we can have the tree removed, and I will do that in an amicable fashion. And that's way too much conversation for me with someone I don't know.
Well, no, I'm not even saying. I don't know. It just seems like if it's encroaching in your property, it seems like you should, and it's causing you problems,
right?
You should be able to cut them out.
You should, but you can't.
I mean, you're not going to kill the tree by cutting some of its roots out.
But you don't know that. I don't. Like, how much of the tree root system is now reliant?
Well, also too, though, the other thing about that is you would make the tree maybe unstable.
Right.
So
you're
taking out the thing that supports it, and suddenly it's going to fall on your fence.
In one of these big wind, unforeseen climate instances here in Roseville where a fucking tornado touches down and it spins that weakened tree into her house, and some arborist comes out and goes,
no, it would be weakened in your direction because you cut the roots out, so it would fall, I would think, in your direction.
Well, that's not how it would work. It would be the most amount of pain to me, liability-wise, and that would be like someone would sue me.
Oh.
If it fell into my house, I'd be like, oh, golly. How'd that happen? I bet it was because I cut the roots. Yeah, it was. Fuck.
I don't know. It just seems like you have some kind of legal recourse.
And they'd be like, remember that time I built that whole fence and I didn't call you? You owe me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not even a good neighbor fence. That's her fence altogether.
Yeah. You ruined the fence.
I mean, I have to
for free
replace posts on a good neighbor fence and part of my fence. My whole gate. I got to get the backyard done. I got to finish painting the house, and then I got to work on the gates and the fencing. The gate and the fence. Damn it.
You're close. Well, you got all that sod laid in, so.
Yeah. Well, the backyard's good to go.
I was going to say, so what's your next project?
Try and finish painting and the fencing.
Paint and fence?
Not painting the fence.
Paint and fence?
Yeah, paint and fence. Yeah. Gate, fence, paint. Part of it is with the painting. It's just like if it's too fucking hot, I just won't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
If it's over 85, 87 degrees, forget it.
We're close to time.
But
I'm speaking of hot. Hey baby.
What are you trying to say?
The
speaking of hot.
We signed up earlier this evening. Venus was talking. It's super motivations and whatnot. I think between the two of us, we had established that as soon as the kids go back to school, both of us are going to start putting in more time to go do more exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I've hit pretty much every day in July. I've been doing push-ups, at least 100 in sets of 50. I haven't necessarily been my running stuff. I've been taking a significant break from that. But we had a couple of races that we had talked about, and I think in some of the hangouts, there was like a virtual Wonder Woman race.
Yeah.
And we just got a thing for the Urban Cow, which we did last year, which I believe, #HiKim, Kim had signed up for. They had sent us a notification saying they will do a virtual or give you a voucher for access next year or something. So we signed up for a couple of those virtual. I had intended and signed up for the California International again to try and hit my mark that I missed last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think that's safe given where we're at with that vaccine. I just don't see there's a need for me to put that type of personal achievement at the risk of family or whatever.
Right.
It just doesn't seem smart. So I think I'll push that goal for that race to next year. But given Venus and I's motivation to try and start putting more effort out, we signed up for a couple of the virtual races.
Oh, cool.
So the Wonder Woman thing, and then I think an Urban Cow, both are 5Ks. But we were talking in the kitchen. I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to do. I said, I need someone that still has one of the baby Bjorns. And I'm going to do all of my run training with the baby Yoda in a Bjorn. And I'm going to be that guy that someone sees in the morning running with the baby Yoda strapped to his fucking chest, like running around the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Because how funny would that be to find some sort of ring video or a
Here's
next door.
Look at this dude
or
that
a
ran by my
Facebook
house.
post of like, does anybody know anything about the guy wearing the baby Yoda and a Bjorn at 7 a.m? Fucking, what's that all about? It's just something to make it fun.
Yeah.
And funny.
Well, we had been walking a lot, incredible amount of walking, and then we adopted a dog, and the dog goes on the walks with us, and the dog is mostly a puppy.
Yeah.
So a little bit of leash training, a little bit of him getting used to us because he's new to the family.
Right.
And so there's a lot of stopping. There's a lot of him he's an adopted dog he's a rescue. So he's very nervous.
Skittish?
Yeah, very nervous about he sees other people and he just stops and he won't go until you sort of reassure him. And then he's very reluctant, but he'll move. So our walks have increased in time, but not necessarily workout.
Oh, yes.
So
your exertion is plateaued, but your duration has increased.
Well, what we were doing in like 31 or 2 minutes, now we're doing in 45 or 48 minutes because the dog is stopping all the time.
Yeah.
So, but we're still trying to get the walks in regardless.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unwind time. Well, I mean, it would be for me. Who's to say for you or for Shan or whoever else? But
I look forward to going on them.
It's good disconnect time, I would think.
Yeah, we really it's something that we look forward to. In fact, when I'm doing the show, I'm not able to go walk. I think I've said this before, and I kind of like, I missed my walk.
I'm gonna miss that day.
Yeah,
yeah,
that sucks. So,
who goes with you?
Melly, Shanna, and I, and now Max.
No, Max.
Yeah. So Chandler doesn't. He has been on maybe one walk with us.
Fucking datas.
Yeah, but we were pushing it. We were doing.
I know some of the stuff that prior to you getting Max,
15-minute.
You were keeping
miles,
keeping yourself honest and sending me the screenshots.
Yeah.
Your pace was.
I'm not even sending you all of them just because it's just.
No.
There's
but when you didn't have
walks.
the dog, you were picking it up.
Oh well, I was sending you the ones where it was like, hey man, we were hauling ass tonight. Check
Yeah.
that out, you
Yeah.
know. And and I was the one that was pushing the pace, and so the girls were struggling to keep up. What's interesting to me is now they push the pace. I let them push the pace, and I just trail behind. And there are times where I can't keep up with them.
Oh.
It's nuts. It was sort of like I created a monster because they couldn't keep up at first, and they were like, "Oh my God!" It was such a. And now it's sort of like they push the pace, and I'm struggling performance-wise, speed-wise, to keep up with them.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but
How do they feel at the end?
everybody
Good.
enjoys that. Yeah.
Good.
I will say this: I've lost 40 pounds.
No shit.
No shit.
I would not have known that.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. It's
40 pounds?
40
Since
pounds.
when?
Since maybe I want to say we would go back to maybe November or October.
That's
back to then.
amazing.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
I know, and it's kind of addicting because now it's like I want to lose more weight, you know. So it's
How do you feel?
I totally notice it every time I put on my pants.
That's
and
amazing.
I feel great. It's
I'm
awesome.
like super happy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
That's
So-
good.
And it's sort of accelerated the more walking we do at night.
Yeah.
And like I said, I sort of pick up on better eating habits because the girls are doing Weight Watchers.
Mhm.
So a lot of the stuff that they do and the measuring and the points wise and all that stuff, I don't necessarily eat the same things that they eat,
Mhm.
but I eat better because the stuff that they eat, I end up also
Right.
just, you know,
Right.
like it doesn't matter to me if the tortillas
your
this or that.
dietary intake is by proxy
Yeah.
getting better because of what their
Yeah,
diet
exactly.
is.
Yeah, precisely.
sense.
And I mean, I'll still eat stuff I want to eat for the most part, but I don't eat as much, and I eat a lot better just because they're.
Does that trickle
Eating
out
better.
to Data's too? He seems to be like a passive participant.
He's sort of on an island,
Is he?
Yeah.
Mm.
so
Well, that's awesome for you.
yeah.
We should end it there.
Let's end it there on an actual happy
Fucking,
note.
that's awesome.
Fucking hey. No, that's cool. I didn't really want to talk about it much, but I figured it was kind of a cool
Yeah,
thing. So yeah,
totally.
it's fun.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
We will catch you next week.
Yeah,
Wash your hands.
wash your butt
Return the cart.
and wear the mask.
Wear the mask.
Speaking of the mask, we have now
Oh, yes.
Sad Dad's Club podcast masks that you can get on Teespring. If you go to saddadsclub.net, there's a link to our Teespring account.
If you follow us on Twitter, you can also get the links there.
Yep.
And I also include the links to our Teespring account in the YouTube episodes that are uploaded roughly on Fridays.
Yeah. Also, Facebook has those links too.
And Facebook.
But you can get there from saddadsclub.net for sure. There's a link on the top right of the page. So we have some shirts and T-shirts up there if anyone's interested. It just would offset our costs for sure. So we're happy to have that kind of support if you're interested.
And on that note, we will catch you next week. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Have a good week, everybody.
Bye.